Headline for story number one reads, Donald Trump demands refund for millions in cash he splashed during his run against Joe Biden. Now, I was almost sure this was basically trolling. This was actually a fake story, but no, apparently there is calls for Donald Trump to get back some of his money, a refund for the money he spent campaigning against Joe Biden because Joe Biden is no longer running for president. Trump campaign expenses include a significant amount spent on advertising and other campaigns activities targeting Biden specifically. So Trump demands that some of the money come back, be refunded to him because he was doing false advertising. He was asked to, basically rebut things from someone who he can't actually rebut anymore. Now that he's focused on Kamala Harris, the vice president, he'll need to refund those funds and reallocate those funds to basically blast her. Money already spent can be pulled back in to spend on new money towards Kamala. This is actually a thing. He basically called it a fraud going forward because essentially wasting his money on one guy that they knew wasn't going to run is a bad thing. Okay, let's get to actual news about what's going on. Story number two, the headline for this story reads, Donors hail Biden, Harris jolt of adrenaline will energize Democratic base. Although the very poor agree with that, it goes along the same lines of the last story. Donald Trump said he spent a lot of his campaign funds on campaigning against Joe Biden, and it's a waste of time. Meantime, donors for the Democratic Party, who were doing fairly well for so far to basically fight against Trump, are now adding more money to the coffers because Kamala Harris is in the race, and there's new energy, a new jolt of adrenaline in the process as people are backing what could be our first female and black female and Indian female president. I guess we already got black taken care of, but female and Indian all wrapped up into one with the big package. We shall see how this plays out. As right now, we know, and we'll probably talk about tomorrow. We'll put that's actually in the teaser for tomorrow, or one of the teasers for tomorrow. Kamala Harris, as of this morning, has basically secured enough delegates, basically got the pledges from delegates to say she can get the nomination. But that's actually something that needs to be talked about. Meanwhile, money, which is what actually runs campaigns. And right now, Harris is going to get pledges for more donors to get more money to make sure that she has all the responses, all the backing she can get to get a win against that other guy. Oh, speaking of that other guy, one more story on that other guy, because ironically, headline number 3, people are calling out double standard in the Republican Party now that Donald Trump is the oldest major presidential nominee in history. So, yeah. Donald Trump would have been the second oldest major nominee in history because Joe Biden's 3 years older than him. Now that Joe Biden's out of the race, Donald Trump is now going to be the oldest president elected ever when he gets, elected and, takes oath of office at 77 at the moment. So that's beating Biden, who at the last go around, who was basically 76. And of course, Ronald Reagan, who people basically called the guy who basically got old in office and thought he was really dying and going through Alzheimer's in the process. Now Donald Trump is going to be the oldest presidential candidate ever, and the Republicans aren't talking about his age when everybody busted out Biden's age. Now, Biden's age thing was more or less the fact that he was more or less, declining in front of us. But the fact remains, Donald Trump is still old. He wasn't as old as Joe Biden, but now he's older than Kamala Harris by 20 years. So what's that mean? Double standard. Yes, we know. Double standard.